What up, you guys? I gave myself 365 days to open up a comic book retail space, and today is day 7. And today what I want to do is really look at my YouTube analytics, but as well as talking about like key performance indicators, things that I am going to be looking at, engaging, and monitoring to see whether or not I'm succeeding in what I'm trying to do. And those 3 key metrics are going to be views, subscriber growth, as well as watch time. And I'll talk about each one individually, as well as showing where I'm at now and kind of some of the thought process that I have behind the KPIs that I'm setting. One of the things I want to say to begin with though is that I'm not going to skew my KPIs. Currently, I hadn't uploaded for 2 months, so a lot of them are going to look like I'm growing wild and crazy, but the reality is like it was because I hadn't been uploading so long that there's a big spike in it now. Moving forward though, I have a more moderate kind of like gauge on what I want to see, and I'm hoping that I can be continuously improving in my analytics and, like I said, setting real tangible growth rates, right? And we'll talk about that later on. But so to begin with, the views for me matter because one of the key things I want to do, like I said, is really grow these ideas and really spread them out so that people can really hear what I'm trying to do and see whether or not that's going to work for their comic book retail space. The idea for me is not necessarily that I want to be the sole person to do this, but rather that I want to see this change in the comic book industry. And because I want to see that change and I see no one stepping up to the plate or no one saying it in the way that I think they should be saying it, I felt the urge and the need to go ahead and jump into the foray and really try to push these ideas out. Really try to talk about how comic book shop should be a third space for creatives, for artistic people. And guess what? There's so many intersections of the comic book industry that intersect with other industries that it doesn't make sense for a comic book location not to include some of these items. And that's basically what I've been saying for a long time. So as the views grow, I know that I am spreading out that message further and further. And that is something that I'm going to find solace in, knowing that whether or not people really take away actionable items from these videos is one thing, but the fact that I really am spreading these ideas is another. The next thing I want to talk about is growing my subscriber base. The reason why I want to grow the subscriber base is not for a play button or no shit like that, but it's just this idea that we really are building a community. We really are building people who are actively engaged and participating in this new movement of new comic book retail spaces, of building these third spaces where, you know, different ideas and different ways of being and lifestyles can intersect with art and actually exist and flourish. So when you're seeing the subscriber base going up, what that's telling me is that you're correct. Like, that's something that we do want. That this is something that we do need. This is something worth building. And so that call to action of subscribing and really helping to grow this feral publication net, I think is something that's going to tell me to indicate whether or not I am saying something that people are responding to. And the watch time matters because I think that the watch time shows whether or not I'm making content, keeping a conversation going in a way that is inviting. If I'm trying to communicate with you guys this idea, I need to communicate in a way that you guys are responding to. And I think that the watch time will tell me whether or not I'm communicating in a way that you guys are responding, that people are picking up this information. And if they are doing that, then I am succeeding in my mission of really building and spreading these ideas out. And so those are the 3 things that I'm going to be looking at the YouTube analytics moving forward. And obviously we're going to be adding more and more to the plate. And as we do, we'll be continuously add KPIs that will tell us whether or not something is working or not working. But those are the main 3 that I'm going to be looking at through the YouTube analytics. And one of the other metrics that I'm going to be gauging is whether or not it is resulting in more sales online for feral publication. So again, these are going to be a little skewed only because I hadn't uploaded in 2 months, right? So my real gauge is I want to see a 5% increase on each of these metrics week to week. And that's pretty high. I think, you know, 5 is what I'm shooting for. I will be happy if I settle with a 2. For watch time, 153% up, but again, this is skewed because I haven't uploaded in so long. When we look at the subscribers, as you can see here, 160% more. So if that's the case, it looks like I would normally get about 8 subscribers. So 160% more. Not a bad way of starting the process of this all. And this is weird. When you go to the views, it looks like I have gotten less views this week than I did last week. So that is very strange, but I do want to say that my assumption is that my shorts feed, because I had done so many shorts for so long, continuously keeps a certain amount. But now that I'm uploading longer form content, which is what I like to make and is what I like to see, and I realized that I'd rather make what I like rather than make what I think is kind of pandering or catering to a certain algorithm. I think we're gonna see this number continuously grow as well. But those are the analytics right now as they stand, and that's what I'm paying attention to. If you guys have any information about YouTube analytics and stuff like that and things that I should pay attention to, please let me know in the show notes, man. Remember, this is really a community effort to build third spaces where art can really build, where diversity of people, of lifestyles can really intersect and really just show us the flavor and like all the energies that there are in life. And so if you guys have any information that's relevant, the things that you guys think I should really pay attention to, please let me know, man. Put it in the show notes. If not, go ahead and email me, you guys. My email, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but it's going to be weird@feralpublication.com. Once again, that's going to be weird@feralpublication.com. And so if you guys have any ideas, things that can really help us move forward with this, don't hesitate to email me. Again, this is a community effort, you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, there will be a link in the show notes to our big cartel shop where you can get all the crazy shit we make. Alright, guys. Lates.